Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. As always, I'm your co-host, Caleb Griffin,
I'm your other co-host, Evan Lytle.
and we got a banger of an episode for you today, drafting TV shows to see what's the best TV show, what's the worst TV show, and what's the most underrated TV show. Very much so looking forward to this. We've been talking about it all week. But first things
Yes.
first, cue the theme song.
Tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat that we don't own. Tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat that we don't own. It's Caleb and Evan and Caleb. We're on a boat and we don't own it. Tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat that we don't own.
Today I'm going to be trying to pull a Brad Pitt. I'm going to be eating on camera. I made a 94 on an exam today, so I thought I'd celebrate. Went and picked up some
Oh
sushi.
yeah,
So
nice. I will be drinking orange cream ghost on camera. I actually picked up a Swedish fish today,
yeah,
but I'm a little nervous about it, so I'm gonna save it till tomorrow.
I didn't know you sent that in the group chat, and I didn't know how to respond
Yeah.
because I was like,
Well, I was really just sharing the information, but me
yeah,
personally, I've never had one. I haven't even seen them like with my own
yeah.
eyes. Um,
I didn't know they existed either. It's just I don't know how I feel about Swedish fish. It's hard for me to imagine
personally,
them in drink form, though.
yeah, personally, I'm not even like the biggest fan. Like I like the candy, but it's not my go-to candy.
Yeah,
And I know some buddies of mine really want to try it, so I might just save it till tomorrow. If they
fair.
like it more than me, then they can arm wrestle it over or something.
Yeah, makes sense.
But
Um,
I'm a big fan of the orange cream. I like
those are,
their regular flavors,
those are good.
but their orange cream is it's
Mm-hmm.
whenever we do drinks, it'll probably be in top five.
Fair. I love their blue Sour Patch Kids. That's my
I
favorite
like
ghost.
it. Yep.
But I tried a new rain today. Red Dragon. It's literally just fruit punch. It was pretty good.
Carbonated.
Yeah, not as it
Yeah.
was a Inferno rain, so I guess it didn't really feel as carbonated. It might be like the same thing as Monster Juice. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's like I wouldn't buy it again unless there weren't like many other options. But I liked it. Okay, it was pretty good. But anyways, you ready to get into this?
Anyways, I am so ready. We do have to disclaim though, this is not an original idea.
Oh, not at all.
We've seen these guys doing videos and they draft like
Absolutely.
all kinds of things, and I was like,
I can't
I
remember
want to do
the.
that with Caleb. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they have like actual sports. They have one that's literally called everything, and they pick like anything they could think of. They have
Mm-hmm.
done TV shows, but as nerds, I feel like it's our responsibility to do a TV show draft.
Yeah. I can't remember
But
the
also,
name of their like thing, but I'm gonna put it up here so
yeah,
people know we're not trying to take credit for their idea. We are gonna take a tiny little spin on it. Our main category is TV shows, and we'll be drafting the best, the worst, or overrated, and then underrated. So
yep,
earlier this week, me and Evan picked a number between 1 and 100, and we had one fellow friend of ours pick a number between 1 and 100, and his number was closest to Evan's. So Evan will get first pick for this episode, and let's go ahead and get
will.
started with best TV shows ever. Evan, your
All
number
right.
one selection.
Okay. I am not competitive, but if it's me putting together a team with TV shows, I don't know that this would be your number one, but I think it'd be on your list. And I feel kind of bad because I'm stealing it and I'm not competitive. But at the same time, I gotta go with myself, and I'm taking Seinfeld.
Gosh dang it, that was my number one, but it's
I
not.
I felt it. I
It's
mean,
not
it's
me.
it's too good,
It's
really.
too good. It's the best TV show of all time, like in
Yeah,
my opinion, no question. I'm mad because I didn't get to pick it, but it's fine. Um,
it's out of love,
it's
you
out of
know.
love. I mean, that's just a great
Yeah.
pick. I can't knock you for taking it first pick overall. But with my first pick in the draft, I'm just gonna move up what would have been my second pick, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Um,
Oh, all right,
great show. Um,
great show.
Just great
I
show.
respect it.
Perfect.
It is, dude.
Perfect. All right. Evan, would you like to continue with your second pick?
I will. My second pick. So just throwing this in there for the ones that I can get, I'm gonna put a check mark by, and the ones that I missed out on, I'm gonna cross out.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, nice. Great minds think alike. My second pick, I got to go with New Girl. Hilarious show, a personal favorite. Everything about it is good.
That was on my list of if Evan steals any of my picks, put on there because it's a great show. Top 10 show, absolutely. My number 2 pick, I'm kind of worried because I want this to be on my list. I don't want to play this competitively though, but I feel like if I don't take this now, you're going to take it. So I have to pick it. At number 2, I'm taking Community. I had to because normally this Community was a little lower in the list for me, but I need this list on my team if I want to win. I feel like you were about to take it. If I didn't take
I
it,
actually was not going to yet.
Then you might
be
the show I was going to take over it. But Community's my number 2.
I might, and I feel like you would. If we were with each other in the same room, you'd probably like hit me or something. My number 3, Spectacular Spider-Man.
Gosh, I'm not mad. Great pick. That's just such a good selection. That's such a good pick, man. Oh my gosh, that was on my. It wasn't my number 3. It was up there though. Great pick.
Yep.
Great.
Was
pick.
that going to be your number 2 if you hadn't chose Community?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It was later down the list though.
Okay.
My number 2, which is now going to be my number 3, The Office.
I respect it.
It's classic. Hilarious
classic.
show. That's all I can really say about it. Great show.
All right. What number 4 now? Is that where we're at?
We're at number 4.
I like this game. It goes by quick.
It does, and it's fun.
But it's fun, yeah. My number 4, I got to go with That 70s Show, honestly.
Really?
I liked it.
Interesting.
I found it funny, yeah.
I gotta say, I've tried watching it. I've laughed a couple times. It is funny. I do love Ashton Kutcher, but I don't know. That's just not a top pick for me. But I respect it.
Yeah.
I
I found my most humor in Fez, which actually stands for foreign exchange student.
Yeah.
And like they actually just never learned his name, so Fez is just short for foreign exchange student.
All right. Moving on to my number 4. This is a show that for a longest time it was interchangeable. I love the show a lot, and the more I watch it, the more I still enjoy it. My number 4 is Parks and Rec.
That's a solid pick.
I love Ron Swanson and Andy Dwyer.
You can't go wrong with it.
You can't. Great show.
I mean, me personally,
characters.
I'd put Parks and Rec over The Office. That's just my.
Dude, I think that's valid.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard for me though, because like I love both of them so much. It really just comes down to whichever one I watched last is the one I'm putting above the other one. The last one I watched was The Office. So right now it's above. If I went and watched Parks and Rec right now, I'd probably agree with you. But they're so close, man. They're both great shows.
They are. They're both enjoyable. I will always get a laugh out of them. So all right. Number 5.
The last
This is gonna be our last pick. And this one's tricky. There's some in here. Oh man. I mean, I could go. There's 2 routes I could go, which is really comedy or animation.
Yeah.
And it's literally a tie between 2. But I think I'm gonna go with Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I respect it.
Brooklyn. And the other was Batman the Animated Series. But
great
I
show.
think I'm taking Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, I respect it. Here, I'm kind of in the same boat as you because I got one animation that I could put up here and then one normal. Either way, the show I pick, I know from certain friends I have, they're gonna knock me for this pick if I go the real one or if I go the fake one, or not the fake, the animated one. I have to go animated here just because this show holds more weight in my heart, and that's SpongeBob SquarePants.
I would pick.
As much as the new episodes suck, the original, like, I want to say up to the sixth season, they're all just hilarious television and great episodes. SpongeBob SquarePants, top
I like it.
top pick here. So I'm gonna reread our teams for best TV show. Evan has Seinfeld, New Girl, The Spectacular Spider-Man, That 70s Show, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And I have Avatar, Community, The Office, Parks and Rec, and SpongeBob. Very, very even list. This is going to be up to you guys, the viewers, the 106 strong of our subscribers, to tell us down below who won this round. We will go to the next one, which is worst TV shows or overrated TV shows.
Yep.
So let's do this. You have first pick again.
Okay.
So whenever you are ready, go ahead and get started.
My first pick, I'm gonna have to go with Stranger Things. I think
Okay.
it's very overrated. I
I
think
love
season
that
one
pick.
was good. I thought season 1 and 2 were good, and then I mean, if they don't end it on season 5, then it's definitely overrated. I
Yeah,
mean,
I respect that pick so much. That show is so overhyped. I don't get it, and I respect it. It wasn't on my list because I haven't watched it enough. I
yeah.
didn't watch past the second season, so
I mean, I've finished it. I watched the latest, but it's
yeah,
just for me, it gets hard to continue. It's just
I respect that. That's a good pick. All right, my number one, and what I strongly believe is the worst TV show to ever exist, and I don't know how the ratings are so high on this. She-Hulk
yep.
is a
That's
horrible
yeah.
show. No redeeming quality in it whatsoever, except for maybe Wong and Daredevil from time to time.
Yep.
So She-Hulk, worst show of all time, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. Evan, you're number two.
My number 2, fairly new, very. I mean, for me, it's just very overrated. Squid Games. I was
Okay.
I didn't really care for it.
I got to
I
be
watched
honest with
it.
you. I never watched it, so I can't say
I mean,
anything
I
about it.
watched
But
it and I was like, is this really, was it really worth it? Was it all that,
yeah, yeah, I agree. So this show, I'm not sure if you have seen it. It was the worst idea for a TV show ever. I don't know how this got approved, and I don't know how it lasted more than one episode. But The Adventures of Annoying Orange,
Oh, dude, I hated that.
probably the
I
worst.
absolutely hated
It
that.
was bad as a web thing, and then they decided to put it on TV. Like, awful. I don't. It was talking fruit,
Yeah.
annoying talking fruit. Like, that's the name of the show. What made you think that was a good idea? Horrible, awful, awful. That's all I can say about it. But it's still better than She-Hulk, which is sad. But all right, Evan, you're number three.
I am in the same boat. This was a Cartoon Network show, animated. I didn't like it at all. Uncle Grandpa.
I agree with that.
It felt similar to Annoying Orange. Just like what am I watching right
Really, I I hated that show so much, and
now?
it's
So
sad
much.
because normally, like, you think of that animation style on Cartoon Network, and you have like Clarence, which is great, regular show, which is great, Adventure Time, which I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
personally a fan of, but a lot of people love,
I
and
liked Adventure Time.
I mean, and then you get Uncle Grandpa. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
My number three, a show that started off very good and in the first couple of seasons, and then it got completely off the rails. I stopped watching it, but I've heard from somebody that they have superpowers in this show now. I don't know if that's true or not because I don't watch it, but Riverdale. I mean, based off the classic Archie comics, you turn it into a murder mystery thing, which is cool, and it was a good
Yeah.
story. And now they have superpowers, and you took them back in time, and you've done all this weird stuff that just makes no sense. And it's what the CW does all the time with their shows. The Flash is horrible now.
Dude, it's so bad.
There's other CW shows, Dynasty, All American, all those shows that used to be great or are great in their first couple seasons. They end up just completely going downhill. that's what the CW does, and that's why Riverdale is my number 3 for worst shows. And it's overrated because people still watch it for some whatever reason.
I think that's all. Those are all good points.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at number 4. This one, I watched it. It was all right. There was some likable characters and some moments. But overall, wouldn't probably watch again or even continue. Euphoria.
Okay.
I think it was overrated.
Yeah.
I liked the Fez character. He was chill. He even looked like Mac Miller, so respect to him. But I did not care for Zendaya's character at all.
Yeah.
She kept saying she wanted to get off drugs, but she never actually even tried. So it's like,
Yeah.
this is stupid. Why am I even continuing to watch this?
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. My number 4, this is one that I literally had to stop watching after 2 episodes. Marvel's Inhumans. Awful show.
Yep.
And still not as bad as She-Hulk, but a bad show. So that's my number 4 is Inhumans.
I think that's a good pick.
I was looking at lists of like bad Marvel shows because I was trying to remember like which was worst, Iron Fist or Inhumans. So I was looking at different rankings, and they had.
I think Inhumans is worse. I actually kind of like Iron Fist.
I like Iron Fist as a character. Like that's why I think I like the show. The show's bad, but I think that's why I like the show more than Inhumans because the Iron Fist character is really cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to the Ultimate Spider-Man for making me fall
for sure.
Fist. But yeah, Inhumans is a bad show. But I saw that they ranked She-Hulk higher than Inhumans and the Punisher. So Cap
Punisher. That's
Cap on that. Cap on that. If any human thinks She-Hulk could possibly be better than any show that's been mentioned so far on this episode, but not only that, the Punisher, you need to be fired from your media job if that's the article you're writing because the Punisher is fantastic.
For sure.
Even if She-Hulk was good, I don't think it beats the Punisher. There's not many MCU Disney Plus shows that beat the Punisher. So
that was perfect casting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frank Castle. They killed it with that show.
Yeah.
They did not kill it with She-Hulk.
They did not.
Nope. But, all right, number 5.
Number 5.
So for me, number 5 is kind of like it's the better half. Like if you're number 1 on overrated, then you're a bad show. Number 5 is kind of like you might be able to hit a good watchable area.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, and I'll probably get hated on some because it's so popular, but I have to go with Friends.
Friends? I'm gonna have to hate on that because I love that show, but I understand why.
I enjoy it. I enjoy Seinfeld more.
I agree.
But I respect Friends. It's just they make products of it for anything you could think of. They could do a Friends version, and so it's kind of like that's a little overrated. Like it's okay to like this show, but you don't have to make a hairbrush with them on the back. So it's really the marketing. It's really the marketing.
The marketing for Friends. Yeah. My thing with I can give you a bunch of reasons why Seinfeld is better than Friends. 1, it's funnier. 2, the characters are more likable. 3,
and that's the thing. I think it was really Ross's character that would actually make me put this on the list.
You don't like Ross? I love Ross, dude. He's freaking especially when he goes crazy. When he goes crazy, he's so funny.
I'll take Joey and Chandler over Ross.
I agree with that statement.
I'll take Phoebe. I don't know that I'd take Monica or Rachel.
Monica's my least favorite character in the show.
Yeah.
Monica's the only character in the show that I don't like. And the thing with Seinfeld is all the characters I love. There's not a character I hate in that show. And then also, like I said, it's funnier. The fact that it's a show about nothing and you can just sit back and enjoy without having to worry about, the whole Friends thing. It took them after season 3 when Rachel and Ross broke up, it took them 6 seasons after that for them to get back together. And Friends like, oh my gosh, finally. Seinfeld, you don't have to worry about that with Jerry and Elaine. It doesn't matter. Also, if it wasn't for Seinfeld, Friends does not exist. So Seinfeld paved the way for that. And Seinfeld is just a better show. However, I think I could not put Friends on overrated or worst I do
Well,
think that if
the
people,
other option for me was SNL, but I didn't really know if that counted,
yeah,
because like,
that's fair.
so that's why I kind of went with Friends
Yeah,
that
no, I can
direction.
respect it. Um, so yeah, uh,
Yeah,
my number five. I'm gonna move on to my number five. That's okay. Um,
it's okay.
I will say, I think to me, Friends is a top 10 TV show, but it's not number one, which is where most people have it. If I went through Mississippi State's campus and I asked every student what TV
Friends or
shows the,
Seinfeld.
yeah, they're gonna say Friends, which is wrong.
Yeah,
So it is overrated. So I get where you're coming
yeah.
from. So it's overrated for sure. Um, my number five, this I went on a RoboCop kick back like 7 years ago, I think, and there was a show called RoboCop Prime Detective. And sadly, most cases when you try to do a TV adaptation of a movie, it does go wrong. This is one of the ones where it went wrong, and it went wrong very
Yep.
badly. So my number five, RoboCop Prom Detectives.
Do you see they're making a RoboCop video game?
I did, and I'm excited for that.
I'm excited. I
I'm gonna
liked
have to go
the
back and
like
watch the movies.
2014 movie. Yeah, I watched
Yeah,
like the latest. I've never actually seen the original one.
they're really good. The
Yeah,
2014 though one, when I watched
I
that,
liked it.
I liked it too, and that's what started my RoboCop kick. I'm gonna reread these lists real quick. Evan's top five worst or overrated TV shows. Stranger or his draft, not his top five. Stranger Things, Squid Games, Uncle Grandpa, Euphoria, and Friends. My list: She-Hulk, Annoying Orange, Riverdale, Inhumans, and RoboCop Prime Detective. I almost threw Cobra Kai in there because I don't think Cobra Kai is
I
good,
did. I thought about it. I
but
thought about it.
I enjoyed the first three seasons a little too much for me to be able to say, yeah, I'm gonna put this in there.
Yeah,
So with that being said, we will move on to underrated
underrated.
TV shows. Evan,
Would you like to go first? I'll
no,
let you go
hey,
first
hey,
if you
man,
want.
you won fair and square. You get to go
All right.
first. So
All right. My number one. You got Community, so I got to get his latest project, Atlanta, on Hulu.
okay, never seen it, but I've
I'll
heard about it and I'm
It's
curious.
it's pretty good. Matthew Lee loves it. I don't know if he actually loves the show or if he just loves Childish Gambino slash Donald Glover. I mean,
Fair,
I'm in the same boat, but the show's cool.
yeah,
So I gotta take it. I don't really see anybody really talking about it unless it's in like a hip hop area because of Childish Gambino.
yeah.
So I think it's a little slept on.
I agree. I can see that. I haven't seen the show, so I really can't say I agree, but I see where you're coming from. I get it. All right. My number one is a great, fantastic show. It is a show that if I sat down and really thought about this, it is making either my top 10 or top 15 if I really sat down and took the time to think about it. It is not talked about as much as it should be. And Joss Whedon, who has done a lot of stuff, including things in the MCU, this may be his best creation. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I respect that.
Such a good show.
Yeah,
So good that they continued it in a comic book. It is fantastic. It is what Buffy the Vampire Slayer is what My Babysitter's a Vampire it would be if it was good. Um
yeah.
it's it's such a great show and it's just not talked about it as much as it should be. And I don't talk about it as much as I should because it's a great show and I never really mention it when I'm talking about TV shows, but it's a great show. Um yeah, that's that.
I respect that pick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, number two. This one, I don't know if like, I mean, maybe it's just where we've grown up and like other kids and what they were watching and what we were watching. So I don't really know how necessarily underrated it is. But for me, I picked Danny Phantom.
That show is underrated, dude. No,
Okay,
like for real, no one mentions that when they talk about Nickelodeon cartoons. They always go like Fairly Odd Parents,
I
Jimmy
love Danny Phantom,
Neutron.
dude.
Danny
My first
Phantom's great,
iTunes
man.
gift card I spent on season one of Danny Phantom.
That show is so good. That's a great way to spend your money. On
Yeah,
season one of Danny Phantom. That show is so good. And it's just I agree. I think it is underrated. But yeah. All right. My number two, As far as adult cartoons go, this is one that is not talked about in the likes of The Simpsons and and Family Guy, and I think this one is better than both of those, and that's King of the Hill.
I respect that pick.
Great show, hilarious. Written by or one of the writers is Toby from The Office, and he knows how to make me laugh. So yeah, that's my number 2.
I respect that pick. That's a good pick. Number 3 now. I have kind of a list. I'm starting to go in order, but I think I'm gonna switch it some. I gotta go Key and Peele. Yeah.
Great freaking pick, Evan.
I mean, that
That is
show is so
great pick.
hilarious. Matthew Lee, shout out him. He's not part of the Next Topic Media Group or anything, but he stayed over Sunday night because his plumbing was busted. And we stayed up almost like all night watching Key and Peele. And I was like, this show is hilarious. I'd seen it before, but it's been a while. So I was like, man, this show really knows how to make me laugh.
I love that. I love that show.
And I don't really hear anybody talking about it.
People always love to talk about like the clips of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Especially the
Or they'll talk about the
one.
2 actors. Like they'll talk about Jordan Peele because he's a director, and they'll talk about Keegan Michael Key in the movies he plays in. But
yeah. But it's a good show. I like that pick a lot. All right. My number 3. This is vastly underrated when it comes to MCU TV shows. That's Hawkeye. I personally think it's the best one. And once again, I thought that this show had, I thought people were kind of like, not as much so in my boat where they thought it was the best one, but where people generally thought it was a top 3, top 4 maybe. And then I was looking through lists in preparation for today, and people are putting this at under She-Hulk and under WandaVision and under Falcon Winter Soldier, and I'm like, I just don't agree because I think it's the best one. I could see arguments for Loki and Moon Knight to be put over it, and that's really it. So I'm going Hawkeye because Hawkeye was fantastic.
I mean, I enjoyed Hawkeye and I enjoyed Falcon Winter Soldier just because they were kind of down to earth. They didn't really have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think I'll take. I don't know. I actually enjoyed Falcon Winter Soldier, but I think I'd also take Hawkeye over it. So
yeah,
I respect that. My number 4. Let's see. I gotta go Samurai Jack.
Yes. I forgot that show existed until you just said that.
Dude, it was cool.
Samurai Jack.
I mean, it's on HBO.
Yes.
I mean, the guy did a Clone Wars movies, the animator, Gendy Tartovsky or something.
Yeah.
And those were some awesome movies. It was really just one long story. It was the Clone Wars story, but broken into 2 1.5-hour movies.
Yeah.
And so respect for Samurai Jack, really.
Great. Dude, that show is great. And it is, I mean, no one talks about it. Yeah. I agree. Great show. Awesome show. All right. My number 4 is a show that got dropped from the network after 1 season. And people thought it was going to get picked up by somewhere else. Did not. This is one of the rare instances where a show based off of a movie works, and that's Limitless.
I respect that.
The show a lot. Was great. The actor who played Brian was perfectly casted, and the story of the show was great. Yeah. Like he reprised his role, and he took over kind of like the role of hey, I'm going to provide you this NZT and all this stuff, and it continued the movie in a great way. So my number 4
actually had that on my list, so now I can't choose it. My number 5 now, but I respect that a lot. I liked Limitless. It was fun.
Good. Yeah.
It always made me wish NZT was a real thing. Dude, right before
tell me about it.
Something.
Oh my gosh.
I would be like, oh man. My number 5. I might have to change it because I don't really know if it's that slept on. I don't really think it is in retrospect. So I'm going to change it. I'm going to go We Bare Bears. The original was Clone Wars, but I don't really think it's...
That's not underrated.
Yeah.
Among Star Wars fans, at least, it's not underrated. But
Yeah.
we Bear Bears.
I mean, I think it has a huge fan base. Thank you.
That is a fantastic
My parking spot is Ice Bear.
Oh man, that is a fantastic pick. Another one of those Cartoon Network shows that are just great.
Yeah.
They know how to make a good cartoon. I guess that's why it's called Cartoon Network. But great pick.
Well, now it's technically not. Like
It's
they
not-
Warner Brothers like bought them or something. Yeah.
what's it called now?
I mean, they're still Cartoon Network, but it's like they're not individual anymore. It's not its own company because they're owned.
Okay,
But it's still called Cartoon Network.
okay,
So
alrighty. Well, I am stuck now between two picks, and I gotta go with this one just because. Well, I guess I already have animation on here, but the one I had just in case you took one of mine is one that kind of fits with that We Bear Bears. So you know what? I'm gonna go with it. Penguins of Madagascar, the TV show. That show was
I respect
hilarious.
that.
The show was
That was
great.
a hilarious show.
Great show. I mean Madagascar is just an underrated franchise to begin with. All three movies
Yeah.
are great. The Penguins of Madagascar movie is great. The Penguins of Madagascar show is great. Whenever they used to do, I think they did like the King Julian shorts and
Yeah.
stuff like that. The Christmas one that they used to have on Netflix, great. I'll freaking
It's a fun franchise, but I mean,
absolutely.
people have like just a weird and hugely blown out of proportion
Yeah,
obsession over Shrek. I should have put like the
I
Shrek
agree.
TV show. Like,
dude.
like
I don't
it's like
think
there's a point where it's a joke, and then there's a point where it's like you guys realize it's just a joke, right? Like
I was
I would
talking to
take
Lauren
I
about
would
that the other
personally
day.
I said that at work one time that I'd take Kung Fu Panda over Shrek, and like everybody flipped on me, and I was like,
You're right.
no,
You are 100%
I'm
right. I 100% agree with you on that. And I'll to that point, me and Lauren watched our top 10 movie video from way back at the beginning of Next Topic Media, and she was kind of dogging on all of us because none of us had Shrek anywhere mentioned. And I
and
was
she was
like,
like serious about it. She wasn't like,
yeah, Shrek is her favorite movie of all time. And I'm like,
wow.
that's a problem. We need to step back and take a look at our relationship because that's a problem. I mean, I'm okay with someone liking Shrek. I mean, it's a fun watch, but what it's become is just unnecessary because it's not that good. And oh man, I'm so glad you mentioned that. And yeah, that's a good note to end on. I think Shrek's not that good.
So, yeah.
We're gonna break the internet, but Shrek's not that good. And
it'll be good for publicity.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So for the underrated list, Evan had Atlanta, Danny Phantom, Key and Peele, Samurai Jack, and We Bear Bears. My underrated, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, King of the Hill, Hawkeye, Limitless, and Penguins of Madagascar. It's up to you guys. The TV show. It's up to you guys to pick who had the best draft overall. Leave it in the comments below. Maybe the winner will get something cool. We don't know yet. But great picks. I'm still upset that you got Seinfeld from me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's how it works.
And Spectacular Spider-Man. But you did get Avatar. I mean, you got Avatar.
I did.
I think, personally, I would take Avatar over Spectacular Spider-Man.
I would too.
I think I would. But you got it first, so.
I love Spider-Man. I love Spectacular Spider-Man. It's all love. But yeah, it's all love.
It's all fun and games. And this is a really fun game. We might just have to, we're labeled as two nerds on a boat, but we might just have to start throwing in some new topics in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drinks, food, all that stuff.
But speaking of future events on this show, next Thursday at some time not yet set, normally this releases at 5, it'll probably have to be after that, we will be doing a live non-spoiler review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, a day before the movie officially releases. How did that happen? We can't tell you, but we will have a live non-spoiler review for you guys to see if the show is worth watching and if the MCU is going to get back on track going into Phase 5. But with that announcement out of the way, don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know who won this draft down below. I'm Caleb Griffin.
I'm Evan Lytle.
and we'll see you guys next week.